Parrots, you gotta log me. I gotta log in from this new device so that I can hit record. Okay, Maaser Sheni Perek Gimel Mishnah Aleph. I think that's where we're left on.
Fine.
Yeah. And we have a bunch of quick small Mishnayos. So lo yamar adam l'cha. Again, we're talking about Maaser Sheni, which is you have to take up your fruits to Yerushalayim, or you bepaida your fruits, whatever it is. So lo yamar adam l'chaveira, a person shouldn't tell his friend, bring up these payros to Yerushalayim to give out. Why? Because it sounds like you're going to give some of the fruit to your friend for doing you this favor, which is that you're using Maaser to pay up a chayv. You're not allowed to use Maaser Sheni to pay up a chayv, right? So that's also, you cannot get personal benefit. You can get personal benefit, like we learned, I think, in the first parak, that you get personal benefit from Maaser Sheni if it's eating, drinking, or anointing, right? But not anything more than that. So you're not allowed to say, so if you say it that way, it's not allowed, right? What you do is you tell them, Halem, bring them up, bring it up that we will eat and drink it in Yerushalayim. So then it sounds like all you're doing is telling him, we're gonna have a party in Yerushalayim, and that's that, and then it's no problem. Meaning, if you tell your friend, bring it up to Yerushalayim, that's not allowed. But if you say, bring it up and we'll eat and drink together in Yerushalayim, then that is okay. Right? But you're allowed to give them a matnas chinam, meaning each one could give each other a present. Right? Meaning you're allowed to invite people over for Maaser, to enjoy a good Maaser Sheni meal. Right? Fine. That is Mishnah Aleph. Mishnah Beis. Ein loichen truma bekesef Maaser Sheni. You're not allowed to buy truma with Maaser Sheni, which is interesting because you think that truma is truma. How's it go? Truma is more chashuv than Maaser Sheni. So you think, why can't I take Maaser Sheni and buy it, and not buy, but use it for truma? So that you can't. Why? You're making it less. You're making less consumers, right? Meaning, if you buy chulin with it, anybody could eat. You can eat it when you're tameh. You can any Yisraelim could eat it, right? But if you go to truma, then people that are tameh can't eat it. And kaihanim, only kaihanim could eat it, right? And even kaihanim or tameh are not allowed to eat it. So mamela, you're hampering the ability of what you're allowed to do with it. Reb Shimon Mater, Reb Shimon, he held it's mutter, right? Because he wasn't concerned. He didn't have a concern for this. He said it's no problem with you potentially making this Maaser Sheni end up being not edible. So Amalem Reb Shimon said to them, if we're makel by shlamim, right? A korban shlamim can be eaten by anybody, right? But you can have pigel, which is that you think about it, that you're going to do something out chutz dezman, or nicer, it could be left over, but tameh, right? So but you could still take Maaser Sheni money and buy a korban shlamim. That's what you're supposed to do. Like nekel but truma. So those are clearly korbanos are more chashuv than truma. So you're allowed to do that, even though the korban can end up becoming tameh, or not tameh, tameh or nicer or pigel. Like nekel but truma, you're not going to be mekel by truma. Hamrullah said it told them back. Ma im hekel beziv cheshlamim shem return lezarim. Right. We're mekel by zivchei shlamim, right? Because they're mutter to zarim. Nekel betruma she asura lezarim. It's also the zarim, meaning there is a possibility that your korban will become no good. But bottom line is, everybody in Klal Yisrael is allowed to eat a korban shlamim. Truma, the majority of Klal Yisrael cannot eat it. So therefore, why would you want to take your Maaser Sheni and put it into that situation? Right? Okay. Then fine, Mishnah Gimel. If a guy has his Maaser Sheni money in Yerushalayim, the tzarich, there's different gears here, loy, lahem, and he needs other products that you can't buy with Maaser Sheni money. Let's say he needs a sefer, right? But he has all his money in Yerushalayim and he wants to spend it. But he needs svarim. So is there any way for him to use his Maaser Sheni money? So yes, for the Chavera Paris, and his friend has Paris, right? So now what he can do, he can say as follows: Amar l'Chavera, Harei Amoy Se'ilu Mechulolin Al Peirosecha. Says my money will be mechulol onto your Paris, meaning my Maaser Sheni money will go onto your Paris. Your Paris will become Maaser Sheni, and my money goes out to Chulin. So it comes out that the person who's doing this, he has to eat that fruit b'tahara, because now it became Maaser Sheni, right? And then the other one, meaning the one who swapped out the money, can do whatever he needs with the money. All right. And this is even though the Maisa that comes out according to this, it's a scam. I mean, chas v'shalom to you, but that's to bring it out clear. This is a scam for a way a person can take his Maaser Sheni money and use it for whatever products that he wants. He just goes over to his friend who has fruits, who owns a fruit store in Yerushalayim, and he tells him, I'm buying the fruits with Maaser Sheni money. Now, well, I don't know if he's saying buying, I'm not sure, but he's being mechalal his money onto those fruits. But you can't do this in Amoretz, right? Because why? Because the Amoretz might eat it when he's tamei. So we don't want to do this with an Amoretz. Ela b'demai. But if it's demai, which is, we know that Amoratzim are not makbid on, so meaning he has Maaser Sheni of demai, meaning you took it off. Demai is, it's a derabanan, that we're just concerned that the fellow might not treat it with such seriousness. Right? So it's demai. So then that we say you can give to an Amoretz, because that's a derabanan. Let's just do one more Mishnah because it's just along the same subject. Mishnah Dal Peiros b'Yerushalayim u'Moyes b'Medina. If you have fruit in Yerushalayim and money in outside of Yerushalayim, this is the opposite case. The previous Mishnah was fruit. You got to mute it there, Rachman, please. Thanks. So you have Peiros in Yerushalayim and the money in the Medina. The previous case was the Peiros they're both in Yerushalayim, right? But here it's the Peiros in Yerushalayim, the money's in Medina. So Aimer, and he wants to be able to spend that money. So Aimer, Harei Amoy Sahem Mechulol Al Peiros Ha'elu, says that money that are not in Yerushalayim are going to be mechulol onto these Peiros. Maaser Yerushalayim or Peiros Medina, but let's say the money is Yerushalayim and the Peiros are outside of Yerushalayim. Aimer Harei Amoy Sahem Mechulol Al Peiros Hahem. This money is mechulol onto those Peiros, which means the money becomes chulin, and he can do whatever he wants with them. But you have to make sure you bring the Peiros up to Yerushalayim. Okay.
How is that quantified? I got a crop of $1,000, $10,000 crop, and $1,000 worth of that approximately is Maaser Sheni. But I could just redeem it on a $5 coin or a $50 coin or whatever, however coins are. But it's still like it doesn't quantify. When I come to Yerushalayim, I can't buy $1,000 with a $50 coin. I mean, how is it equated like that?
What I mean, it's
I have $1,000 of whatever corn, right? So approximately 10% is my Maaser Sheni. Forget about the Maaser Rishon and Shum, but that anyway goes out. But the Maaser Sheni, I have a chiyuv to bring it to the Yerushalayim. I can't bring $1,000, whatever it is, $1,000. Let's say my 10% is my Maaser Sheni, so I have $1,000 worth of corn that I should be bringing to Yerushalayim. So do I have to redeem it on $1,000 worth of coins? As far as I understand, I could redeem it on a $5 coin, but the $5 coin doesn't buy me the same amount of
Well, it would
paper.
have to be. I don't know. I hear you crunch. You have to make sure the numbers are crunched properly. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah. This is something that always bothered me. I don't know how it gets evaluated. On a coin. Here's a quarter, but I got $100 worth of grapes or whatever.
Right.
So I put it on a quarter, put it on a silver dollar. But that silver dollar is not $100. A silver dollar is only a silver dollar. So now it's got kedusha, but it only allows me so much. Yerushalayim is not the same value, is not nearly the same value as the Paris that we're chal on it.
Right.
Or am I wrong? Or do you have to have if it's
I think
$1,000,
it
you
would
got to
have to
get
be. I don't
yourself
know.
a.
The numbers would have to crunch.
And normally, when you read, you pay this up to like this, you add 20%. So Yerushalayim, do you have to do that in Yerushalayim?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish I. Yeah. Okay, let's see a little Musar because we're running a little late here. We haven't done Musar in I think a week or 6 days. Ayin ches v'chein ma'ashchasas hazakan. Oh, did we do that? No, I think we did hashchas hazakan. We did
we have to pay Aleph.
Pay Aleph, right? I'm looking. Yeah, thank you. Oh, Lifnei Iver, pay Aleph. Lifnei Iver, Leisita and Mishal. Again, the Shari Tshuva is going through common isurim that people make and they're not aware of. So we left Neiva Lesita and Mishal. Amar Rabbi Seinu, Ki Huzarnu Bezel Levilti Hakois Adam Benoya Gadol. We're warned that a person has to be careful not to hit his older son. Pentia Labain Lefuka Ulamichshal Lachte Belashaynu Lahaklis of it, because maybe the son is going to be a mishal for the son, because the son's going to do a chet with his tongue and curse his father, right? So you could be over lifnei iver by hitting an older son. Nowadays you probably be over lifnei iver and hitting a younger son. We're warned not to bring any sort of mikshal to Yisrael and not to a nachi shalayitin kois yain lenazir. Right, that's the most common case in Shas. You're not allowed to give wine to a nazir. Behavior ben achai lebnei noyach, and not an aver ben achai to bnei noyach. Gam lo yoshir elov es asher loy. You're not even allowed to pass him what's his. Meaning, you're standing in the nazir's house and he says, "Pass me down. Can you bring me the wine?" You're not allowed to hand him the wine. Same thing if a guy, actually somebody asked me this question, was the opposite. He wants to buy from the guy frankincense. But if a Nachri comes to buy incense or whatever it is, or wax for his Avodah Zarah from a Yid, meaning this is one people don't realize. You can be over on Lifnei Iver on a guy. Meaning, yes, we're not mechuyev to stop a guy from doing an isser, but we have to make sure that you cannot let a guy do an isser either.
Nowadays we don't pass. What is Stam Tiger is not. We don't have to assume when they sell.
No, nowadays you don't have to assume.
No, I'm saying that's not true nowadays.
That's true, but I'm saying the concept. If you knew for sure the guy was over Avodah Zarah and he was going to do Avodah Zarah, then it would be also. Yeah, nowadays it's not. The assumption is not.
So what?
That when a guy comes, even a priest comes and buys a candle from you, the assumption is nowadays he's not using it as avodah zarah.
Okay.
Usually, because and even if they are using it, they don't know what they're doing. Right?
Okay. Fine. Okay.
Say it's not. It's if you knew for sure that he was, then it would be a problem. Yeah, 100%. It's more of an issue with pritzes to a guy. Does a guy have an isser of looking at pritzes and that type of thing? If he does, if that goes under arayas, so then you have more of a problem in those areas. Okay, so anyways, the lo yimkal you can't sell them. You're not allowed to sell apikorsis books to a goy. That's already a bigger chiddush, no? Because if you sell it to him, he may end up using it to be avodah zarah. And you have to make sure that we don't trip up a guy in any of the sheva mitzvahs that they're supposed to be keeping. Okay, we'll stop with that.
So if you have a ladies' clothing store, you have to sell only the clothing to the guy that come in.
It's not a simple thing. I think push comes to shove. Push comes to shove. I think we're okay with it, but that's more because they're being over anyways. Yeah. So that's yeah.